the markets take another dip to restart and refuel this boom boy ship. My dreams may be futile, but it's you say, well, my dreams may be futile, but Bitcoin bull keeps charging away. Oh, you see, my Bitcoin bull keeps charging away. I'm not the bubble. I'm not the bubble. I'm the pin. I'm not the bubble. I'm the pin. I'm not the bubble. I'm the pin. I'm not the bubble. I'm not the bubble. I'm not the bubble. I'm the pin. I'm not the bubble. I'm the pin. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pin. I'm not the bubble, I'm the pin. A Bitcoin bull is all I got left. Sold my clothes, gold no less.
You're listening to Any Observation, the best NFT, crypto, and gaming podcast ever. With your host, Anders Bjork.
And hopefully everything is alive and we are unmuted and everyone can hear us, everyone can see us, and we are here for a nice day of NFT chill chat. We are joined today. Yeah, we're joined today with the Non Fungible Guys, or the Nice Fkin Guys, or whatever we should call them, the NFG. So how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you, my friend. I'm doing very well. How are you going?
All the better now for talking to Anders. You've been getting on my nerves all day, so nice to have someone different to talk to. No, joke.
D saying that Hysteria is looking fresh. Have you recovered from Boomtown now?
Oh, do you know what? I don't think you ever really recover from Boomtown. You just try and get in a better mental state so you can go harder next time.
So for anyone that don't know what it is, what is Boomtown?
Right, yeah, so Boomtown's a festival in the UK, so not really like a mainstream festival, so, you know, there's a lot of your harder dance music there, and there's a lot of like really funky stages and live shows, and like there's like a story woven into the festival, so, you know, there's quite a lot to go and do and see, so yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
I'd recommend it.
Nice. When is it next time? When should I go?
I guess it's usually around August bank holiday weekend, and tickets go on sale in November.
Ah, good marketing.
Yeah, use your referral code NFG.
So speaking of November, there's something happening in London or in UK in November. Are you guys attending?
Definitely, man. Definitely. Are you talking about the Atomic Club event?
Both events.
We haven't got tickets to NFT London yet, but we have got. I've just signed up for it this morning for the Atomic Club one. I'm excited for that, man. It's the first real like UK based wax event, if I'm correct. So I'm looking forward to just going there and repping, meeting other people in the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess if you're going to attend that as well, Anders, that will be the second time we'll see you within the space of a couple of months, because you're also going to be in Holland.
Yeah, next week.
In a week and a bit, unless I'm tripping. No, that's happening. That is happening.
I'm tripping for sure. I'm taking the car there, so that's a crazy thing that I decided to do. Yeah. So, are you both going, or all of you guys going? You're 4 guys in NFG, right?
Yeah, so we're four guys, myself and Gary. We're like, we're full time, and then we have other people who help us out. But effectively, what was the first part of the question again?
Which one of them? No, how many of you are going to the?
Oh yeah, so
Amsterdam event?
both of us are going, and we're staying there for a night. So obviously on the Saturday we're gonna be sort of doing up tourists in Amsterdam. So if anyone wants to come chill, go do up tourists together, we're up for that, I suppose.
So
absolutely.
What does that include? Which district are you going that isn't red?
I didn't know there were any. Were there other districts?
To be fair, Anders, I'm colourblind, so if I get lost, it's not my fault.
That's why your logo is just green and purple.
Yeah, we don't discriminate though.
To answer your earlier question a bit more, so there are around 6 of us in NFG, but me and Lino are the only 2 from the UK, and the only 2 that are working NFG full time. So we've just actually started. Well, it's been for a few months now, but we've went into another project called Polaris, which is going to be a cross-chain bot for Discord. So it's going to have loads of project management features, community building features. I've had a couple of chats with people, and they've jokingly called it Shillbot. But it's it's going to be a bit more than that, and it's going to have our diamond review process built into it as well. So before we were just reviewing games on the WAX blockchain. Now we're going to be reviewing games on all blockchains. And the scores are going to be held on chain, so projects are going to be able to use it as another layer of verification. There are going to be achievements. You're going to be able to actually leave a user score through the Discord bot as well. So it's going to be a live score that's held on chain. So yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
That's nice. So when do you think that is going live?
When? That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, like of course, like building things. You have an idea, it might take this long, and then in reality, it takes 3 times as long. But if in your first estimation, like, what's your goal? Do you want to have it before New Year? Do you want to have it before NFC London or before the summer? What's the idea?
I would like to have something live before we go to Holland. So I've got something live to talk to people about. It's difficult to get things off the ground. I guess neither me or Lino are developers, and in this space, you really do lean on developers to make your ideas a reality. And unfortunately, they're few and far between with blockchain experience. I'm sure you know all about that.
Yeah, I've been I've been working on a tool to help with taxes for a long time, and it takes forever. And if you like. I've tried to get people to come in and help me to do stuff in the past. I've gone through 3 people so far. None of them are here anymore.
I'm glad to know that we're not the only people facing these problems. That does fill me with hope and enthusiasm.
Yeah,
when you think there is none left.
And now I managed to trick a guy from the UK to hopefully come and help me with a lot of things. We will see how that goes. But that's the idea. So I'm getting the hooligans because they are trustworthy. It's kind of interesting. Like, there's a lot of blockchain projects on a lot of different places, and for some reason, those that are hosted by people from the UK, in my experience, are usually people that try to do it for real. They are trying to be responsible towards the community, towards the idea they are doing and everything. Why is that? Or is that the truth?
No, it's definitely the truth of icebergs. We're just real people in the UK. Like, we just, we take it seriously anyway. So there's no point risking reputation or risking anything just for a short-term gain, right? So I suppose, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than we're real people and we don't have any intentions other than good intentions to help the space.
Lino's sitting there keeping it real, man, like Ali G.
Yeah. So I thought British people, what you do is you go to the pubs and then you go to football games and you fight, and then you give people the Chelsea smile, and that's pretty much what your culture is all about.
Well, you're absolutely right there.
But you also do other things.
It is true. I mean, we as a country we do love our drinking. I'm having a drink. you know, I think you love your drink as well, and that's not correct. I think I saw you actually having a bit of wine while we're speaking.
This time today is just sparkling water. I haven't had except for one day. I haven't had any alcohol for the last like 93 days or something.
Is that because of the health fitness you're trying to quit? You're trying to quit alcohol and also go to the gym every day.
Pretty much. I had to do a major change in my health. It was declining. My blood pressure was really bad. I don't know if you guys know blood pressure, but I had 178 through 130, which is pretty much you should go to the emergency room to get your blood. You need help to get it down because you might die.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how bad it was. And that's from the last 2 years of a lot of stress, a lot of the NFT things, a lot of work, not taking time off, and not properly being able to do all the workouts. Because when I tried to get back into working out, I had pain in my body. I got exhausted. I couldn't do anything for 2-3 days. And that's also a symptom from stress. So I needed to work out to deal with the stress. I couldn't work out because it crashed me, so I couldn't do anything. And then it got so bad until I had like, either to get better, I have to do everything. So from that day, I changed my diet. I've been working out every day since, and I haven't touched alcohol except when I was out for dinner with Michael Jace from Alienware. Then I felt like, hey, we're out for dinner, where's nice, I'm gonna drink some alcohol. And now my blood pressure is good. So now I got everything under control, and the nurses and the doctors say that I have to take medications and shit, and I haven't done it, and I just changed my diet and work out, and it worked. All good.
Yeah, well, congratulations, mate. Yeah, that's 90 days doing anything. Now at that stage, I believe it starts to become a bit more of a habit. Like the first 90 days of working out are quite tough, and then after a while you start to see the gains and you start to enjoy it a bit more. But the first 30 days is rough. Your whole body aches. Yeah,
like the first, when you have decided to do something, the first few days, the first few weeks is rather easy. And then you have some days that are rough, and then you have to force yourself to do it. And then after somewhere between 4 and 9 weeks, usually around there, is a period when everything is harder. You feel more exhausted, tired. Your body's trying to keep you in homeostasis, which is keeping you in a place where it knows that you will survive pretty much. So it tries to drag you back into your old habits, and that will happen again after a few months again. And since I know that this will happen, since before I did this, I was a personal trainer, I studied sports psychology. This is the thing that I did in the past. I just now apply it on myself, which is way harder than telling other people what to do.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I thought you would have had like an IT background with the amount you sort of, doing in the IT space. But that's crazy. I didn't know you're a PD. You might have to make me a program. Why don't you do a little examine in a non-sexual way in Amsterdam? So, medical examination.
Yeah.
Lino's being cheap. He doesn't want to pay red light district prices.
Yeah, he want the personal.
Just go meet Anders.
I want the blue and yellow district, baby.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so yeah, I pretty much changed everything, and now it's awesome. Like I have more energy, and even though my life right now is more stressful than ever, I can handle it, which is awesome. Because I have a bunch of deadlines that I really need to push through, and it's good. Yeah, but enough of that. I'm drinking water. You guys drink alcohol? Not today, not right now. Or no?
I'm having one. So
do you know what? I would probably have a beer if I had any in the fridge, but they don't last too long.
I have a bunch of non-alcoholic beers. I drink that pretty frequently. It's a good substitute for me. I can take a non-alcoholic beer.
My mum really enjoys non-alcoholic beer nowadays. There's some brands you don't want to have, and there's some brands like she really likes the Italian brands like Moretti and Peroni with non-alcohol. But I've actually got a brewdog here, and it's called the Fellowship Pale Ale, and it's based upon obviously the new Lord of the Rings that came out. Yeah. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but I
have
quite
seen
boring.
One episode.
Found it quite boring, to be honest. So I don't know why I bought it. I just got suckered in.
Yeah, it is. It ain't great. That's for sure. I have also started to watch the new Game of Thrones series, but I've only seen 2 episodes so far, I think.
Yeah.
That one is better, but it's not as good as the old Game of Thrones. But it's better than the Lord of the Rings series, that's for sure.
I mean, controversially, I thought Game of Thrones was boring as it gets, man. Like, I was sort of 4 seasons in, and I just went, you know what? I just don't even care anymore. I just never watched it again. And I've tried to watch it again. I got to like season 3, and I was like, this is just so boring. This person just pops up out of the blue and then gets killed, and I'm like, I finally understood their name, and they're dead. So yeah, that's not really my type of TV, man.
I was expecting to see more dragons.
Yeah.
Well, you saw his cocks.
So, yeah. What's your type of TV then?
I don't know, like South Park. I think Breaking Bad is more enjoyable, and I think maybe drugs, violence, sex. I know obviously, like Game of Thrones has a lot of that, but I think it's more like the modern crime stuff, which is really like my sort of thing, like Wire, Breaking Bad, Narcos, all of that sort of stuff, you know.
Immersive says, after that take on Game of Thrones, can they even trust your review on games?
Well, you know what? It's a good thing I'm not reviewing TV shows then, because we'd have some controversial haters, I suppose. But no, I appreciate what it is. I just think it's overrated, in my opinion, you know. But it's a good thing our Diamond Review is stat driven, so opinions don't really matter that much. It's about
only the opinions of the users, not ours.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we've got the DAO to help anyone being biased. You know, true decentralization of reviews and stuff like that. So that's exactly why we implemented it. So there's no bias and no favorism. I guess that's the word.
Favoritism.
Favoritism.
It's okay. I struggle with the words as well.
Yeah. I suppose you have
not your
like
native
English,
language. Though.
Yeah, English isn't your native language, and it's you probably speak it better than myself.
Yeah, it's just a lie. It's all false. No, it's okay. It's all from TV series, movies, and a lot of online activities, I guess. But what about another TV show? I have one there that I haven't turned on. I always have the lamp on, and I forgot to do it today.
Is that
it's the Mandalorian.
Just it's a Jumanji. What am I on about? No, you know what? I've never had Disney Plus. I've never never cared for it really.
Why?
I don't know. Just it's never come around to it, man. Like I remember watching Netflix, and I was like, you know, this is awful. I'm cancelling my subscription. Ever since then, I've got like Amazon Prime for like the use case of like there's so much utility with Prime that I had it, and I'm just like, there's plenty for me to watch on Prime. I don't sit all day watching TV, so when I do, I'm like, I'll just shove on something like Hell's Kitchen or something like that, or Peep Show or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Book of Boba Fett though, that was good.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I'm a big fan of that, and I'm a big fan of all the Marvel stuff. So of course I have Disney Plus. It's the only one I have.
And you've been watching SheHulk.
I have seen the first episode. I wish I have seen more. It is what you expect it to be.
Yeah,
it is a lot of the annoying feministic perspective that is in a lot of media today, where they take it. It was in one end of the spectrum where the females couldn't do anything in most of movies, and now they do it in the other end of the spectrum instead of just being normal people.
Yeah, it's like matriarchy, isn't it? It's like gone too far, and it's almost like, I don't mean it's in disrespect, if I'm watching like a World War I film, I don't want to see like women on the front line in the trenches, because it just wasn't really like that, you know. Like I like it to stay real when I'm watching like a film like that.
Yeah, and like they can make a female the male role. It can be an amazing role, I don't know, like a character, amazing character in the movie, without making everything so stupid about it. Like it could be a normal awesome person instead of, it is just annoying to watch, and I think a lot of people agree, and I don't know why they keep pushing the extreme agenda on one side and the extreme agenda on the other side, and then there's nothing in between. And I guess that's what we with NFTs and crypto, we have all of these extreme agendas as well, but on different areas.
This one's almost like Marvel's sick attempt though to put these issues into the spotlight, and really it doesn't work. No one really gives a shit about that. They just want to watch something that's fun.
What I forgot it. The guy with the bow. Oh, I know what his name is. Really. The Marvel.
I know what you mean. I know what you
Not
mean.
Arrow,
He's
that's
in
the wrong one.
The Hunter guy.
Yeah, like the series where there is this female that is the main character in that series, and she's kicking ass.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And that role is awesome. And that TV show, I loved it. I mean, it is the Marvels. It is a bit extreme. It's a bit, who's gonna win and everything. But that's a good role, and that was awesome. And some of the new shows are not like that at all. Yeah.
I particularly love the old Hulk. I think it was the 2003 Hulk. I've always remembered that being such an iconic film for me when I grew up, because I thought the CGI in that film was amazing. That's probably my favourite Marvel film. I think as soon as it got to like the later Iron Mans, I think I definitely switched off from Iron Man a bit.
You need to watch them in order.
Yeah, I never really got that into it as a kid. I wish I did, because I love the idea of like reading the comic books in order and stuff. And that would have been so lit as a kid, man. I said I was like collecting football cards for like all the top Premiership clubs. So
that's why you're into NFTs now, then, I guess.
Maybe, yeah. I used to do a lot of FIFA Ultimate Team, and as soon as I saw NFTs, I knew what they were like. I understood the value. It wasn't like I had to teach myself. I was just like, okay, that is exactly what the whole world's been missing, That's why I'm so bullish on it, is because I was just like, this is like, as a kid, I understood the value. I'm sure kids are like quite smart. They're going to see that and make the same assessment, like everyone playing Warzone and stuff like that. Seeing all of these skins being sold, it's just a no-brainer that it's going to happen. But it might take a while, but I'm here for it, I'm here for the journey.
Yeah. So, okay.
Go on, sorry.
No, I was going to change topic, because now we need to go back into NFTs, right? So,
Sure.
The space and everything, you're building these tools, and people can follow that on your website. And your website is being rebuilt right now. When you click around, there's a lot of things that is coming. And your Discord has a lot of more structure than my Discord. That's for take, and you have way more activity. So people can find it. It's in the description if you want to figure out and you want to know more about the tools you're building. But you're into a lot of different games, and one of the big games that I see that you are way more into than most people is Mom. So what happened with that game? What is that?
Yeah, do you want to take it? Should I?
You're the expert, right?
Yeah, sure.
People find it complicated. They don't know what it is. So let's take.
Yeah. So Mom was, it still is really promising. I'd still put it in, my top 3 Web3 projects. But, we've got to a stage at the moment where the community tools and, people's understanding of the game just is lacking in comparison to what it needs to be successful at the game, and have that foresight to know, where the game's going and what tasks they need to do and what they need to build towards. It is, in that respect, it's very open-ended and strategy-based, and we do get a lot of people coming into the Discord literally just asking us what they're supposed to do to get started. What items are going to serve me better? Where do I put my lands? What tasks do I do? And, it's very easy to just get sucked into, going on a spreadsheet or a tool and trying to find out which are the most profitable tasks. But then you realize, oh, well, I need to get to this level. Then I already need to have had these buildings, and then I need this many tokens, and I need those tools. And then to get that, you need something else. And, you're always just working backwards, in my opinion, if you're new to the game. So I feel like we just need a better way to introduce new players, a more, maybe a more basic sequence of tasks and progression, depending on how much you want to play or invest in the game. I find so I was just going to say that, I wouldn't say that the player base is shrinking, but it's not really growing, just because most new people that come to the game are thinking, oh, well, this is probably just a bit much for me now.
Yeah, I think like where Mom did quite well is a lot of the games were like clicker games, which in original Web3, and that was like the thing. And obviously not many people care for it anymore. And if there is a clicker game, it sort of just goes and loses its atomic card placing. Or if it's on a WAX, for example, it will be interesting and then never hear from it again in a week. So Maybe the mom's curse is that they had a really good game on. They had like a pretty good game on Steam. I think they're just waiting for that to come to fruition. But right now, I think people, it's easy to get stale in a game where you do is click, and I think that's why people are like struggling to get involved. And they put a hefty withdrawal tax, which has obviously affected people wanting to play the game as much. But don't get me wrong, like Gary said, it's still one of the best games. We're so critical of it because we love it so much. It's almost like you're the brother that you're happy to abuse because you know that they're. You know, there's no bad things in it, right? They also, Nick Luster said that not a fan of one myself. After 12 layers of pop-ups, I stopped. And yeah, they have worked on that. They used to be so ridiculous. They'll be telling you about a sale that's happening in 3 days, about 24 times a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a great game. It's a great game fundamentally, and I don't know any other game on the WAX blockchain that has been around for as long as it is, as stable as it is, apart from Alienware, maybe.
Yeah.
You
Agreed.
mean survey worlds?
I mean bot world.
And that's I guess the same thing for me. I'm calling Alienware survey worlds now because that's the only thing they delivered in the last few months. Is one survey every Monday.
Did you say that to the owner when you met him? Like, where's Clash playing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. What did he say? Coming soon.
No, he. Their relationship is rather complicated within Alienware, where like Michael Jace, which is the main brain behind Alienware from the start, he did all the start code. He got married during the job. He had 3 years of full time in the tech, and then he got a kid, and he got burnt out. So he had to take a step back. He was still there, but he had to take a step back. And then he kind of got shut out of a lot of things from the corporate side, which ain't good. And he's doing his best to get in and getting things rolling again because he still believes this is his dream child that he want to see to completion. And he is also annoyed that the things that should have been delivered right now are not delivered, and he's starting to wonder why that is. And since they have a corporate structure and everything, that has to go through the corporate structure to see any result. But at least he's working on the side of NFT holders and token holders and everything, which is great to see because Alienware without Jace is not Alienware, and we need him. His brain is really interesting. He's a great guy, also from the UK, by the way. It's like everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. No, I mean, Alienware was the first project I ever found. It's like, I remember, like I said, I search it every time. I was watching a Street Fighter stream for the pack sale, and I just bought my packs. I wasn't going to open them, so I thought they were going to make me a millionaire. I was like, oh my god, Street Fighter Season 1 packs. Like, I'm never opening these. And obviously, you opened them, and I was so amazed. I was like, wow. And then I think I saw you tab to Alienware and do a mine, and I was like, you playing?
Yeah.
And then I remember buying like a tool. I remember buying a legendary tool for at the time like $100. I was thinking, man, like loving this side of like whatever the hell this is. Then I realized it was NFTs and play to earn gaming, and that's when it all started. So Alienware is obviously I do love it, but they haven't delivered anything.
No, I don't know why we don't have Council. I don't know why we don't have Thunderdome. I mean, sure. The council thing gave you access and control of a lot of token that could lead to a lot of problems. There's a lot of reasons why it might not have been delivered, but doesn't mean that it shouldn't have. They should have delivered more things by now than they have. They had a lot of scaling issues suddenly with the Binance launch. They got so much traffic. They had to rebuild their entire back end infrastructure and front end, and that took time, and hire people and get them rolling. But now it's been too long for not to delivering things, and that has to start to happen. Like it's fine to have some delays when things happen like that, but then it shouldn't take 3 years when things were almost ready to go out before. Like it has to be some reason why it hasn't gone out, and I don't know why. And I hope that we will see it soon.
I'll tell you what it's like, actually. It's like I was watching an interview with John from Hydro. And he was talking about when he joined Atomic Hub, the notifications still weren't working. I remember when I joined WAX, I would love mining because I would switch to another tab and I would see a notification. I'd be like, yes, I just got a shovel and I'll be the man. That was the golden days. Obviously, both of them still haven't been fixed. That was two things I thought would be like happening ASAP. I was like, Flash Dome and notifications, man, we're living the high life, and then neither of them happened. I was like, man, so much has happened in a year, and those two things haven't happened still. And I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it has been an interesting thing. There has been a lot of things delivered and a lot of things that is not delivered, and so okay, outside of Mom and Alien Worlds, and I'm a big fan of Alien Worlds for many reasons. One reason is that it changed my life. I bought a bunch of land in the start. I mined a bunch of tokens in the first few months, and that has benefited me very well, except that I have a lot of annoying taxes to deal with now. That is it's a luxury problem to have, but it's the worst stressful event that I've ever had. So a part of that is awesome. And outside of that, what's your like go-to projects? Eve.io is pretty nice, pretty fun to play.
Yeah, well, I'd say Big Time is obviously one of the ones we're ambassadors of Big Time, and it's a really fun game. You know, I love Diablo, that sort of play style where it's a grind. I think Big Time's a great game. Obviously, we like Star Atlas, we like Illuvium. We just keep our eye on what's going on, man. You know, we spend a lot of time just looking at projects and speaking to projects. I would say, the top three games are probably Illuvium, Blockchain Brawlers for personal reasons, because we love Wax, and Big Time. What about you, Gary?
I really don't play many games, which is funny because this time last year, when we were sitting here with our piles of tokens and NFTs that were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, we all thought this year we'd be sitting here deep into some metaverse, building our empire, building NFG headquarters in some kind of Unreal Engine 5 place, but none of that stuff's ready. And even the games that Lena have mentioned, they're too early. If I'm going to play games for fun, I don't want to play those games. Really.
You're probably all right.
And we're probably in the wrong job because we have to make videos about them. We've kind of set ourselves up for that one. No, I mean, it is fun. It was fun looking and going through it and seeing how the games are progressing. What new updates are coming? How good could this game be? How good could that be? But since the bear market and since all these games have had their funding cut, things are progressing really slowly, and it is difficult sometimes, logging in, seeing nothing's happened, seeing all these NFTs that you've had for so long that are still going down in value, and it doesn't fill me with enthusiasm to play these games. So I'm playing Rocket League and Trackmania. They're my two favorite games.
Trackmania. You're playing Trackmania. I love it. Trackmania, to be fair.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a long time. I used to play one of the older versions a lot for a while. Many years ago.
YouTuber Virtual. But yeah, he does loads of Trackmania content. It's really well made content. He's like a top tier player, and he breaks loads of world records. And he does like videos on how like a 0.13 second shortcut has changed a course. It's talking about like the history of speedrunning and stuff. Like some of his content is amazing. Yeah, no, definitely. If you like Trackmania, you'd love that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've always loved racing games. I used to, when I was a kid, I'd sit there and play the MotoGP games, and I would literally just like slide around the entire course and just try and get like one extra place in the world rankings. I think my total time for one of these games was like number 6 in the world when I was like eight years old. So I just love sitting there, just going at a time over and over again. I could sit there doing like the same time trial, which is like a straight line basically, for like 3 hours even now, just trying to get slide.
It takes that sort of thing in Rocket League though, where you need to just be in practice mode doing aerials and stuff to even get a point where Rocket League's fun. He's getting wrecked by people, but
I haven't even tried it.
Well, you haven't tried Rocket League?
No.
Oh man, Rocket League is class, man. Like, it's such a fun game. Like, honestly, like, I watch so much. Like, I played it for so long, and it's a game I always come back to and go, this game is so fun. it's like sort of League of Legends where the map's always the same. It's always the same layout, and the variables there's so many different variables in each match that make every game different.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like it's a completely different game, like from if you just start playing it to then if you start learning how to aerial and do all of the crazy stuff. It's like the difference between like people playing CS:GO like noobs and then just bunny hopping around doing all these crazy shots, I guess.
Yeah, like for some reason the Rocket League game, I've seen it. Nothing attracts me with the game. It's just a car driving and hitting a football and trying to score. I don't know. It's not my type of game. I might like it if I played it with other people. I'm pretty sure I would enjoy it. But like if I had my choice of what to play, it's a lot of times what I want to play is a real-time strategy game or some kind of shooter game. I love battle royale games. It's always nice.
I've been playing a bit of Warzone with my friends. I mean, I've been playing Fortnite when it first came. I was playing like King of the Hill and DayZ and stuff like that back in the day when it was a mod. That was like the original 1 versus 100, if I'm correct. Yeah. But I've been playing a bit of Warzone and stuff, and it's just not the same as I do love it, but I just feel like it's been so exhausted. I'm not really sure. What's my KD in Warzone? Let's not talk about it. I turned 26, and I feel like my reaction speed, I can't even go past 6 on the sensitivity now without feeling like I'm getting dizzy. Like I've turned into a right noob in my older 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun.
32 confirmed noob now.
I mean, I'll play with you. I'll play with BD.
Yeah, I can't play shooting games for shit now. I used to be so good at Call of Duty when I was a youth. Literally, I remember that mode called One Shot, and you'd have like the bolt action sniper. Yeah, and you had to like kill someone to get another.
Didn't you have the pistol on Black Ops?
No, I don't think this was Black Ops. I think it was one after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just going around, just getting people in the head, doing jumping headshots, all that. I can't do any of that stuff. It's embarrassing if I look on replays how far I am away from actually hitting anyone.
Yeah, you know what? I'm such an aggressive player when I play. Like I'm the sort of guy that's wearing a submachine gun. I'll probably have like quite a lot of deaths, but I'll get the most kills in the game every single time. And my reaction, I just don't have it in my fingers anymore. Like as well, when I play PlayStation, I play for a bit longer. I feel like my thumb, I feel like arthritis coming in, so I feel like I probably shouldn't be playing games that much anymore. Like,
but you should only play on PC. You should never play it on console, though. That's the lead thing, right? Okay,
yeah, I would rather. Yeah, you're going.
I'm a PC gamer, so that's the simple thing for me. But okay, like for the games, you rather play real games, not the alpha versions of the indie blockchain games that we have right now. Depending on what time it is and what purpose I play the game for, I might enjoy both for different reasons. Like I love to go and play World of Warcraft and just jump in and be a character and quests and level it up and just play that for hours. But I also like to go and create different plans for the more interesting clicker games. Something that and most of them are not that at all. Like there is no tactic. There is nothing to do. The start of Alienware had a lot of tactic. There was a few other games that also had a lot of tactic. Like you needed to understand which tool to use in which situation to benefit you the most, and then you had to work on that. And I probably spent I don't know how many hours I spent in the beginning of Alienware just trying to figure out how to be most optimal to get as many NFTs as possible, because the NFTs was what I was trying to mine for when that was a part of Alienware. And that part is something that really pulls me in to try to optimize and tweak things and games like that. But at some point, if it doesn't change, you know everything, you have figured it out, everyone knows the secret, then there has to be something evolving. And for me, like mom is trying to evolve all the time, which allows new users no way to catch up to the old, like those that started. It's too big barrier of entry. And then like sauce, I don't know. That game, I think it can be interesting. I'm really looking forward to see what is happening. What I find harder is that you have to you have to send your guys out either for 8, 12 or multiple days for your quests. And the problem with that for me is I forget about the game. I forget that I have sent them out. But for me, Nick is reminding me. He's like, "Hey, we are done. Do you want to go out for another mission?" I'm like, "Yes, I remember." But like, I don't remember to do things like that. Reoccurring things is something I forget, unless it's in a daily like routine of some sort. And while I'm working, I can do basic games. I can do the tactics. I can do the clicker games. I can take a moment and I can understand how to do this better, or how to optimize something for myself. And a lot of times I don't have time to go and play games, and I feel bad if I go and play an RTS, for example, like StarCraft 2 or something like that. If I haven't played that a lot, I feel like shit because I used to be so good, so I don't want to play because I feel so bad unless I have a lot of hours to go and practice again. And a lot of games are like that, and in that sense, I think for more busy people and for I guess older people, like we all are going right now, we're all reaching a few years older than we were before, like everyone, but 30 plus, I guess. You start to have a different life, a different family, and I think the current type of crypto games can have more space in that life than a lot of these immersive games. But I think they have a room for both there. I don't know. That was a long rant.
It's a good run.
You had me engaged there.
No, there's a lot of things you said. Like, I think one of the key things I touched on there is like back in the day there was a lot more strategy. So like for example, our planet, you know, like we would spend a lot of time in Discord calls being like, could it be this, and researching and doing wacky combos, and like that was some of the best times I've had in gaming. But it's a different experience when there's monetary value to something, which is a monetary gain, than it is just like the dopamine gain, if you will. So like, if I'm playing a traditional game, I'm playing it because I want to have fun. But if I'm playing our planet, like, the fun comes from doing well in a craft, and like Nick said, to rush the craft, like getting a notification on your phone and you'd be like up at 3 a.m. and be like, I need to craft 5 of these, and then get it, and then you open pull load of comments eventually. But like, there's such a different feeling to a game a year ago than games to now, because of the market conditions, and maybe because of the how it's sort of worn off. So I don't know. I think like we still talk about strategy for our investments we share together, but it's not often there's actually the opportunity to talk about strategy, because a lot of these games are either, you know, boring, we don't have time for them, or a mix of the two. Like, you know, we'd love to spend our time just playing games and stuff, but we're at NFG, we're a lot busier than just playing games, sitting there and talking about them. We do try and do a lot of other stuff as well.
Let's not get it twisted though. Like, you know, roll back 12 to 18 months. You know, we were literally, our job was to sit there and play games and to trade NFTs on Atomic Hub, and, you know, to collect tokens and spend them on more NFTs.
We did that
cycle, you know. But I guess in some kind of ways, I mean, this might sound stupid, and I feel stupid even saying it, but, you know, it's a blessing in disguise, because, you know, all that would lead to for us was just, you know, rinsing and repeating that cycle. We probably would have never started building the way that we have. You know, we wouldn't have had the conversations that we've had. We probably wouldn't be going and meeting you a couple of times over the next 2 months, that's for sure. Yeah. Because we'd still be sitting there stuck to our computer, looking at Alcor and all of the other exchanges,
Refreshing the Atomic Club 50
you
times
know,
a day, hoping for a
listening
new
to
NFT.
listening to 17 different alarm clocks go off across 3 different laptops, clicking collect all over the place, needing to ask our girlfriend to come take over because we were going to lose $250 if we had to go to the shops to buy food.
Yeah.
So, having no sleep, you know, I've had plenty of days where, you know, I was awake for, you know, 4 days straight clicking buttons, you know, just getting a few hours sleep here and there. So, you know, in that respect, it's not healthy. And I'm grateful that I won't be attacking the next bull market in the same way because, you know, we'll be more experienced and, you know, we'll get those buttons clicked another way other than doing it ourselves.
Yeah, I guess. And like one thing that annoys me is that when a project is that it is fun, like our planet was fun when we were doing the discovery, but then the tool stopped working. Like you tried to craft and it failed, and you tried to craft and it failed, and then at some point you're like, oh, this is so frustrating, so I just gave up. I just stopped it, and the only ones that could do it was those that build custom tools like Nick. And he says in his he stopped his car when something was invented, and he stopped the car and he logged into his remote device, and then he went crafting from his PC through the phone.
Nice.
And like that kind of thing disappeared, and now, like, sure, a lot of projects are trying to build immersive games, and I think that is a big portion forward. I think that is something that attracts a lot of people and a lot of new users. I mean, if we take a game like Forge Arena, if they can figure out the small issues they have, if they can get a better launcher, they can get a scores going, they can get better matchmaking, they can start to grow a community that is, so if you feel like playing it, you can go and play it. Because a lot of times there is no one on, and then like, hey, I have no one to play with, so you forget about the game. And you just, hey, I want to play for 20 minutes, you jump in and you play like you can do on all other FPS games that you're used to playing. If that is solved, that is a great game, but we also need those games that don't require you to play, like to really go and take 20 or 30 or an hour to play a game. You need to have something that can be fun and immersive in another way, like those strategies could be for those games. And sure, the strategy for most of them was about earning more money or making more NFTs, but I think it can be done in other ways as well. I just don't know how. And
I think though, like with 100%. It's just we're so early that like there's no one who's done it correctly. If you ask me, like everyone's got their flaws, everyone's got their kinks, and everyone's got something that they would change about their project if they could, or change about their community. And like no one's perfected it, and even if you do perfect it, it's a different audience for different games, so it's a different black book for different genres of game and different applications. So there is no like real quick answer, and we should all be grateful that we're here to witness it and see what these people have done, because I still think that, you know, we're so, if you zoom out about where we're at with Web3 in general, if you just talk about dApps, not even play to earn, like we're still so far behind the amount of people that use Sushi Swap or Pancake Swap compared to a, you know, Trading 212, for example. So like, we're still so far away from where we want to be that I can't really be too angry about where we're at, because I'm enjoying the process now, because at least we get the chance to see and maybe invest into a few early projects that could absolutely moon in the future. But I think that definitely the biggest problem with Web3 right now is the fact, like you said, like it's so hard to get someone into a game anyway, even if you're on Web2. Like, you know, some people put huge amount of funding into Web2 games and they just end up being massive flops. So why is it different for Web3? And also, a huge amount of startups often fail. It's a well-known statistic, and a lot of these people are just startups. So they're a startup in a game company, which is even higher risk than a normal startup.
And then you do it in crypto space.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like, there's no real guarantee that any of these projects are going to be good. And probably if you're buying 100 projects, 99 of them are going to be bad and going to fail for multiple reasons. But every time it fails, it's just another learning experience, in my opinion, to be like, okay, this is what I'll do next time, or, you know, this is what these guys should have done, and it's only going to help the space.
Yeah, I think so as well. And like, Okay, I can't say what I wanted to say because it is not public information, so I can't share it. But the founder of Forge Arena hinted about news coming out soon, and I think that's very nice. They're doing something, and he hinted on that on Twitter. So that much I can say. So that's fun, and I think there is a lot of space for indie games, and indie games can, like, you don't have to be mass adopted. You don't have to reach millions of people. You can be a successful indie game with thousands of people or tens of thousands of people and be fun to play. And like those text-based games or web-based games, you don't even need that many people to have a healthy ecosystem and be successful. I don't think that is all about trying to reach big adoption and mass adoption and everything. I think you can do it in many different ways. And sure, the mass adopted ones will be fun and it will be great. Like Blancos is just moved to Epic Games. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's good news. Yeah.
I have a bunch of Blancos from the initial sale, so that's fun for me, really? Potentially.
OGs, yeah.
So I got a couple. What ones have you got?
I don't remember, but I bought the big Billy pack, and I bought some of the other ones after and things like that. I don't have enough of them. I think that's always true, right?
Yeah, you can never have enough. But no, indie games are definitely good. Like if you just look at the past like 3 years in game, maybe even more. Like the likes of Fall Guys, the likes of Fortnite. You know, all of these games, Minecraft, like they're all indie games. They're not like the highest level graphics. They're all just fun. Like the amount of times I've bought Minecraft, I bought it on an Xbox 360, a PC, a new PC, a laptop, Uplift. I'm pretty sure I bought it for Uplift. I don't know what's happened there, but you know, all of these projects, I've bought Minecraft so many bloody times that I've probably spent about £150 on Minecraft, and that's more than I've spent on any other game in history in terms of like game licenses. So yeah, indie games are definitely the way forward in my opinion. You don't need as much for a budget. You just need something fun that you want to come back to.
Yeah, and I mean that's another problem that you touched here. You haven't spent you spent $150 on Minecraft. You have never spent more money on any game ever. And some of these indie games
I probably have in microtransactions. To be honest.
Okay, but some of these indie games, they are released in crypto. They don't have any gameplay. You don't have anything to touch yet, and their initial sale is way higher than that. And then and that for me, like, sure, you cater for a different kind of market. You cater for older people, you cater for crypto people, you cater for people with more money. It might not be as much for them, but for me, if your communication says that this is for more people, this is creating a game that is different, it is for adoption of something, and your barrier of entry is like half what people pay for rent, or the entire rent they pay for a month. That's not for normal people. That's for people that have had a crazy journey and has a lot of money to just spend on stupid shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think most of the biggest games in this space are going to be completely played. You can play it for free or you can earn for free, but the real catalyst is going to be owning the NFTs, which are going to give you a massive boost. Sort of like a season pass would give you an XP boost, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then there's actually like a reason to play, because I just find like a lot of the games, either if it's free to play, it's not worth my time because I'm in a Western country, and you know, like anyone, it's just if you're in a Western country, it's kind of expensive to live. So it's not like I'm in the Philippines where it might be easier. But like Amar says, free to play and own, you know, having that option there is just such a big idea. And again, we've seen in the bull market, people are kind of happy to separate from their money, but in a bear market, people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
People are kind of scared to do that, and the last thing you'd want to do is go like, here's another $15 to go play a game that's probably going to be boring and alpha.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely changed. I think we've learned a lot. The whole Web3 community has learned a lot from how we see an early sale. Like if someone's saying, okay, I want to have this and that, I need to see so much information before I ever think about giving you any money. But a year ago, it was a completely different story. If it was if you caught wind of a drop, you'd be like, man, I'm staying up, I'm setting the alarm, and it's just a different space now.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't imagine what a project must be like for us to lose sleep over now. That's going to be one good project.
Yeah.
for me, it's about building my own project, though. That's what I lose sleep on right now.
Yeah, we can't afford to lose any more sleep after what we're building in the background, and just the whole market at the moment is kind of interesting. It's kind of strange, the whole market. I mean, the whole financial world market, not just crypto, for zooming out, it's just very interesting. So it's crazy, man. I think more games need to be free to play for people to be taken seriously. Like, free to play is a great model anyway. You see app stores. That's the reason mobile gaming is so big, because most of these games are free, and a lot of it's just stemmed from that market there.
Yeah,
I
think it should, like, free to play is awesome because you can download, you can test it. If you like it, then you can go and buy something in the game. I have a little bit of issues for pay to win, and pretty much all crypto things are pay to win. You benefit, the more money you put in, the more you benefit, and there is a market for that. A lot of people like that in mobile games and in some computer games, particularly all the Korean RPGs and things like that. There's a lot of people that think that is a good model for games, but for me, I struggle with it, but I also understand it. Like, take World of Warcraft, for example. If I have a full-time job, I have kids and everything, and then I need to go and I need to farm gold to be able to get my mount and do everything. Or I can go to market and I can take I earn X amount of money per hour from my work, and I take 1 hour of that and I buy gold for the game, and I don't have to go and mine gold for weeks. But that is also play to win, because you can just pay money, you can go and buy the best items, you don't have to work for it. So, like, at one side I say that pay to win is bad, and one side I say that I understand that it's attractive and I actually think it has a place. It just has to be balanced in some way. You can't get all the benefit from it, at least not for me.
It's different though. It's different now, because the benefit most of the time would be financial gain if you put a lot of money in. But, like, for example, like something like Fortnite or something, if I know that if I'm spending the money, I know that I'm only spending it for personal pleasure, or to maybe feel better about when I kill someone, they got killed by a pink teddy bear, for example, like, rather than in a pay-to-win game. If I know that it's a pay-to-win game, I'm reluctant to put money into it, because I know there's always someone with a bigger bankroll. But if it's like just cosmetic, I know that I'm buying it because of the feeling it gives me, rather than being like, I'm only doing this to keep up. And a lot of time in those games like Clash of Clans or Clash Royale, you put money into a game and it just levels you out again. So you maybe go up 2 steps and then you're back at the same level where you're losing and winning 50-50. And it's like, it really is pointless. So as a kid, I maybe was a bit more of a sucker to that, and nowadays I realise it doesn't really matter that much. But it's such an important market to be looking at when you're actually putting hard-earned money into a game and you're viewing it as more of an investment rather than a game. It's just a whole different mindset you need to have.
Yeah. I think that's the problem, isn't it? Because we can put money, or I can put money into a game like Rocket League. If, new Battle Pass comes out, I want the new car. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference to my gameplay, but, I'm having fun. That's what the money's going on. It's going on fun. In a crypto game, is there even a game available right now that has that, layer of complexity where it's a rich experience for a free-to-play player, and then that experience would then get enhanced by spending money? I don't think at the moment there's anything deep enough to accommodate both of those things. So I feel like whilst we speak this way about mobile games or pay to win or pay to earn or whatever, I don't think we can even speak about crypto games in the same light at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's also the adoption, right? Because obviously, like, I remember when I first told someone about crypto, and I was like, just send it to my address, and he was like, what the hell is that? And that's still the conception for people, is like, you make an account to a game, you make a MetaMask, you sign up, you make a password, you do all of this stuff. So you have to jump through 25 different hoops before you can even download the game. And then also downloading clients and a Web3 thing is like a lot of people don't like to do it. So if you can have your game on the App Store, that's ideally where you'd want it to go. But there's going to be loads of regulations about how much money can be earned and how to take money out of the game. And we're just not there yet. I mean, there's something really interesting called flamestore.xyz, which is trying to be the the steam of Web3, and I think it's really good. They've got a lot of WAX partners. I really like what they're doing there. But I don't see any like clear route for someone to be like, you know, this is a fun game which doesn't make a pay to win experience that can easily be cashed out and keep people who aren't better money engaged. Like, it's such a hard recipe to do. I don't know who's even close to it.
The new Our Planet game is gonna be on the App Store, or is, I guess. And Nick mentioned it before and asked about our opinions or what we thought about it. And
I'm gonna have a look. Actually,
I have a link so I can go and access it. So I will. I just haven't had time to do that. I hope to have it in the coming days. And for me, like that kind of long-term economic game like that, from the outside, my view of what it is that you have your base and you upgrade it and you produce more minerals, materials, you upgrade, you build a better one, and then I hope that you also collaborate with those next to you. You build your team inside and you explore it. Like, there's a lot of different Web 2 games that work like that is very fun. You can go and you can play it for a bit. You go in and you collect your funds, you go to work, and on your lunch break you go in and you collect it and you go to work. That is a clicker-based game, but it has this thing that draws you in and you build a community around it. It's fun to play. I hope that's what we get from it, but I am very unsure that we actually will get that. I really hope that is the game that we see, the new Our Planet game, and that is fun and exciting. Like, I'm so skeptical against everything after so I've had so many disappointments in the last year where people promise the world or they're really excited. Like, you look at their plan, you look at their initial idea and it looks great, but then they mismanage funds, or they run out of ideas, or someone in the team stops working or gets attracted to something else and focus there, or the team loses focus on the first thing because there was something new, shiny, and they abandon it, even though it was a good idea. They couldn't execute it, and I've seen that over and over again, where they just promise, and then we see nothing in the end, and that's just sad.
It's I could name drop so many projects right now. I don't think I want any for reputation, but like, you know, there's so many people that I just spring to mind when I think that they have such a cool idea, which is why I bought into it. And you know what you're playing now kind of looks like one of them. So, you know, there's been so many letdowns and stuff, but it's always a blessing in disguise, I think. You know, like I say it so many times, but lessons are so much more important than money, because money can be made back, and lessons are often better to make lessons with less money than to make lessons with more money. You know, it's better to lose £1,000 than to lose £10,000 3 years down the line, right? So, I mean, it's in an interesting place, though. I think the WAX blockchain as a whole is doing a pretty good job of trying to market themselves in a market where there's no market to be like marketed. Like, no one's really caring about play to earn games right now. I think the only projects that are really getting the love and attention they deserve are the ones which are really easy to play. Like, for example, my point is on the App Store. Yeah, you don't need to be on a computer. Like, a lot of people around the world don't even own a computer. They don't even own a tower PC that could run a lot of these games, or what they think a metaverse would think like. So I think the most popular metaverse is going to be an App Store game. And I stand by that quite heavily. Everyone can invest into these AAA games, but it just takes someone fun. You can do it in between work every 5 minutes, every 4 hours. You can feel the progression. For me, that's going to be the most important game there is.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have that balance where it is easy enough to people to do it, but you can also have fun doing it a lot. And I think that is like, there is a reason why it's expensive to make games. It's a reason why they need a lot of people on different sides of the game. You can do it in a small team. I mean, Minecraft was built by a very small team. Yeah, exactly.
So it's Swedish as well, isn't it? Actually? Yeah,
exactly. It's a Swedish game from the start, and I guess now it's an American game since Microsoft.
they really did him dirty as well. Actually, I saw how they sort of pushed him out of the company, and he's had a pretty sad life ever since he sold Minecraft, actually, which is really sad, because he did such a good job of making it. And he had to sell his house, where he's had like parties in his house every single night. I think he's got like drinking problem or something like that. I feel sorry for him, man. He was such an icon for me as a kid. Like, what he built was so inspirational to me.
Yeah, it's it's a crazy story for sure. I mean, that is also like, it is I guess you could call it, it's a big nerd that got a lot of money, and from that money got a lot of attention, and he got a lot of relationships from that, and those relationships were all on the surface, nothing real, no one to connect with, and everyone that you connect with, you don't know if they do it because they like you or if because you have money. And I think that he didn't have a place. And from the different articles and videos that you can find on his story and everything, it seems like he really struggled with that situation. And I think that is something that I think you also see in a lot of crypto projects to some extent. Dish said in the chat that he's happy for like not taking part of the crazy bull run for their project. They didn't get a super big portion of funds. It's probably good in the long term because they couldn't scale up super fast, where they had a super big team and suddenly they don't have the influx of money, and they have to manage that, and then they don't really know what to do. They have to build lean, and they have to build a user base and start growing. And I think you can do it both ways, but I think it can also lead to 3 years of not delivering, like Alienware has done. And then it can lead to Uplift World. That was a really good idea, and then the management team fucked every asset owner over by saying, hey, we're not gonna continue to support this, and the guys that ran it say, hey, we still want to support the guys that we have been preaching for. We are the outwards folk, and they try to do the best of it, and best of luck for them, because that's a big uphill battle to fight, and most would just give up, which a lot of people do.
Yeah, and I gave up. I mean, I think it's fair to say we gave up. You know, like, nothing against Glory and that, but you know, since it got discontinued on Microsoft, there's like, what do they do? The only time I'll be happy with what they do is if they give me the money back, and they ain't gonna do that. So I don't really care about it. But yeah, no, it's definitely a shame because we're just in a really awkward spot with it. You know, like, at the end of the day, it's a good thing that people aren't taking a lot of money in the bull market, because if you were earning 100%, or let's say 500%, now you're earning only 20%. You know, you definitely view the project different. Yeah, but let's say like you're making $50 a day, now you can only make $10 a day. You view it differently. It's better to maybe make it where you're earning 2 and then it goes up to 10 from a good community. So I definitely found that if I invested something into the bull market, even if it's doing really well now and it's not earning me what it was, I don't really care. Like, it's a tricky one, man, because at the end of the day, the less funds you have as well, the tighter the ship is. It's easy to get reckless when you have a lot of money and spend this and that and stuff you don't need. But when you have a really tight ship and you know what really goes in and out, I think that's when the best stuff's actually made.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I mean, sure, if you have a lot of money, you can throw a lot of darts on a lot of different targets, and some of them will be a hit, and some will not be a hit, and you can afford that. I don't know. There's a learning experience on every side, and I think I've had a ton of learning experience on all the sides so far. And the best thing that I have gotten out of it is the same thing I'm preaching all along: is acquire skills. You need to learn from the mistakes, from everything that is happening, and as long as you acquire skills, you can keep going and you can build things. And right now I'm building more advanced things than I imagined that I would do in a long time with the tax software that I'm trying to build, and hopefully that will help a lot of people as well to be able to, like, we can't expect everyone to go into crypto and NFTs and blockchain and all the gaming and everything if, like, most people want to pay their taxes, and if they can't do that in any reasonable way, how can we expect them to go here and actually spend time here if after the first year they have to spend hours and hours and hours on taxes and hire a bunch of accountants to just do basic things? There's a lot, like, that's also a big problem that we need to solve. I hate it. It's so boring, but it has to be done by someone.
Yeah, well, I think from what you told me, that your nation is a lot. They clamp down hard on this tax thing. I don't think in the UK, people have to pay their taxes, but we wouldn't be held responsible for not knowing how to pay our taxes. We wouldn't really be expected to go and pay someone to sort that mess out. I don't think. We would definitely get away with paying it how we felt and saw fit. And if there was any problem with that, it would come back to us and we'd have to change it, but there wouldn't be repercussions. So I almost feel like that's some kind of human right being violated there, keeping you in this extended state of stress over your tax pay.
It's tough. It is tough though, to be fair, because they don't have the capacity to be, the best people in blockchain are working for the best companies, not for the government. And if they are working for the government, it'd probably be the US government, not. So. I definitely think the taxation is a tricky one, but there's a saying in life of death and taxes. It's got to be done. And for example, on SoRare, right, the reason SoRare has done so well, in my opinion, is because of something called SoRare data, where you have all the tools, you have all the analytics to do as much research as you want. And sometimes you feel a bit naked in this space where you're like, okay, if I do this and do that, and it's kind of overwhelming, right? And I feel like the overwhelming is great if you want to be overwhelmed, but if you're just some average person and maybe thinks ETH is quite cool, might buy some, and then you're seeing all of these dApps and you're trying to buy some pump and dump coin called poop coin, and you have to swap for this, for that, and put it into USDT and make loads of approvals on MetaMask. It's just so complicated that it's such a put off, man. I've tried to tell friends about some cryptocurrency. It's a good thing they didn't listen to me because they would have lost money. But that's not the point. That's not the point. It was so hard to get them involved. And I knew that they would love it. I know that they would love it. One of them would love Axie Infinity because he likes the sort of Japanese art and stuff. So I was like, you might like this game.
Yeah. And
he was just like, nah, too complicated, man. I just want to play Warzone and chill out. So I still feel like we're so far away from having a game. I feel like Blancos might be the closest, where you don't need to sort of undead blocks, might be the closest actually, where you just sort of download the game, you play it, and then when you actually need to withdraw, that's when you go, oh shit, it's a crypto game. I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm happy. I'm willing to be proven wrong in the future, but I don't see many projects doing it at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah, so okay, that's a lot of blockchain games and things. Is there any crypto project or any non-game NFT project that you find exciting and are into right now? Like for me, I love Funko. It's crazy, but starting to rip Funko packs again a few weeks ago is bringing back the joy of opening and participating in NFT things. It kind of became too much, so it was all just rip a few packs, hey, I got something cool, and then rip a few more, and now it's a little bit fun to let's hope I get something cool in this pack. And that's very nice. And from Funko I get that. Do you feel like something you feel excited about right now that isn't a game?
I love Funkos. I've got 17 on my desk here. I've got the Predator, I've got Dwight Schrute, I've got Hulk, I've got Castaway, I've got the Notorious B.I.G. I've got loads of different Funkos on my desk, but they're physical Funkos that I look at, and I just don't feel the love for Funko, man. I like what WAX are doing with it, and I'm all for it because if you're a collector, it's so much fun. And I saw you opening the packs, and I Burst loves those items as well. I just haven't been into it. I'm not really an NFT collector guy. I feel like I have a few stuff on Solana that I've bought, and I'm quite happy with some sort of stylish studs and horse racing manager and stuff, and a Rory and stuff like that. But they always have some sort of back end NFT gaming utility normally, or some sort of credit metaverse, for example, where you get sort of loan discounts and that sort of stuff. That's always what I look for, a node, for example, rather than just buying a PFP. It's just not really my style, man. I remember when the whole market was booming, where basically if you did a mint, it would sell out, and I was going on NFT Solana mints and basically trying to buy every single one I could and trying to flip every single one and doing quite well out of it. But I don't know. I just don't really enjoy having artwork,
Yeah, I am big into a project called Wilder World on Ethereum. and I don't really know what the game is going to look like. But, you know, they've got this insane rewards program called Trinity Rewards Program for holding the Genesis collection of their NFTs. And they've got like several different Genesis collections. So I imagine it's like a world like Grand Theft Auto. And they've got one collection, which is the initial cars and then the motorbikes. And they've got pets as well. So they've got wolves, they're getting apes as well. They've got hovercraft, like Blade Runner style flying cars. And the NFTs there look so cool. I don't even really think about, you know, what the game's going to be like. Just, you know, the artwork on the NFTs is so insane. And every time there's a new drop, because I've got my initial NFTs and I'm in this Trinity reward system, you know, half the time I just have to pay for the gas fee to mint the NFT. And for me, that's the most fun collection I'm a part of. So for the motorbike drop to just come up, they give the, you know, the blank. I don't know how they do it on Ethereum. I couldn't tell you what it is technically, but you know, it was an NFT that was yet to be revealed, and then they had like 4 different days over the week. And if like you got the bottom rarity, your one would be revealed, and then 2 days later, if you was the next set of motos, then your one would be revealed. And, you know, there's loads of lore behind it and stats of what the NFTs are going to be when it comes to the utility in the game. And the website's insane as well. So, yeah, that's my favourite one at the minute.
Nice.
I'll tell you one thing, actually, Anders, as well. I know you were talking about this first, but I think you got in on GPK to WAX. I think that's what made you find WAX, if I remember correctly.
No, it's what made me find NFTs. I was at WAX before.
NFTs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So... And there's an artist called Toothless J. I don't know if you know him from GPK, and he released his own collection. I bought so many of them. And I realised they're sort of stuck in my inventory now. But I love the artwork of them. I love this old GPK style cards. So if I was ever going to be collecting, I would be collecting stuff like that. Maybe not the Funkos. They're a bit too like futuristic and cartoony for me. I kind of like the old school hand drawn stuff if I'm going to buy like a collectible NFT, I think.
Yeah. But
that's my preference.
Like the best thing for me with Funko is to get one of the legendary or grail, so I get a physical one, so I can redeem it.
Do you know what? I think I've just been unlucky because every time I open one, I didn't get one. I was like,
I have 4 there. I have a few Iron Maiden ones, hopefully coming to me at some point. They got lost in the mail. Then I have a few extra turtles there, and then I will get more as like now they release them, so there will be a new one sending out every month soon. So I hope to get at least one from as many collections as possible. However, shipping is like $20 for each Funko, so it's
there we go. You're getting caught up there. That's what I'm I like
really
the idea.
Toys.
I like the idea. I mean, I obviously love blockchain brawlers and like the source and stuff. I love VRIL, like anything that incorporates real world stuff. I'm a massive fan of. I know Graffiti Kings did this a while back, but you know, God knows how to Graffiti Kings. And I saw they did I think I did an interview of Atomic Card, but I haven't actually looked at it. But I do have one of the Graffiti Kings frogs on my desk, and I look at that every day and think that's quite a cool frog. And I do love stuff like that. I love real world utility. Like if I buy an NFT and I get a T-shirt, I'll fucking buy that NFT straight away. Okay.
I have that that LP there from Baby Metals. Do you know the Baby Metal group?
Yeah, that one.
It's
nice. Was that from the NFT?
Yeah. I bought the NFT only to get that one, and I don't really listen to that kind of music and everything, but I just wanted it. And I find their kind of music very fun because they dress up like very cute Japanese anime figures, and then they growl and do death metal, and it's contrast, it's a big contrast, and like there's a bunch of metal fans, metal folks that are fans of them, and I found them very like I listened to a bunch of their songs because I find it was fun for some, like amusing in some way, and not amusing like I laughed at them, because it's good music if you like that kind of music. It's
just something different.
Yeah, exactly, something different. And I'm like, hey, yeah, I can support this, and I wanted that one, and yeah, that's fun.
I did get a free T-shirt from Raccoon Brand actually. I think you might have done a collab with Raccoon Brand. Someone, I think Go Crypto Stash, but I remember obviously I know you guys I remember you guys obviously you have like your NFTs and stuff. I remember you said on the first thing that you stopped doing the NFTs. I remember the crypto stash, and Kempo has got a little bit of stuff, got a little bit of situation with our planet because of the NFTs. Mainly Kempo is that, to be fair to him, but that's a side story. But no, I've never really been a massive collector of anything in my life, to be fair. Like I had football cards as a kid. But no, I never. Yeah, I don't know. I would love. I know Ultra Red John. Like he's a massive collector.
Yep.
I'm not sure if it's John or Richie, and Richie's like not the biggest collector in the world. And I feel like I'm more on Richie's side than John's side.
Yeah. No, I keep saying that I'm not a collector. I don't collect things. I don't, and for most it's true. However, I have thousands and thousands of NFTs, so I can't say that I don't collect things.
Yeah, I have to really like something to collect it. So these are literally the only toys I have. So I've spoke about Rocket League a lot. So I've got this sealed box of Rocket League cars from Hot Wheels. that's the only toys.
That's something I wouldn't, to be fair. So yeah, we're on the same wave there.
I can buy things as a joke and have it because I think it's fun. Like I have
ironically.
Exactly. Like I have the custom NFT plate in Sweden for cars. So my car has NFT on it, and for me, nice. Like that is. I make content for NFTs. It's fun. It makes sense that I have a plate like that. But mostly why I have it is a very douche move to have a custom plate on a car, and to have something like that, and I put it on a family car, which makes it even more the irony is even bigger on that.
No Lambo.
Exactly. So for me, I like. There's a big joke for that, and it's $600 to get a custom plate for 10 years in Sweden. So it is not crazy, and like I find things like that very fun to make that kind of joke, because people don't know if I do that because I'm 100% serious, or if I make it as a joke, and I don't care what they think, because I think both sides are equally fun. Like I do a lot of sarcasm in text and in videos and in chat. And I'm not always obvious if it is sarcasm or not. And people don't always know if what I say is what I actually think, or I'm trying to make a joke. Those that chat with me often can probably see through it. Or if you watch all my content and I say something that is very different from what I usually say, people will pick up on that. But a lot of people just see that. And I am the person that kind of think that's fun in some way.
Yeah. I mean,
well, now we know Anders thinks he's fun.
I'm the most fun. It's because I have an axe here. Always have an axe.
Yeah, sure. That's actually one of my friends has one of them as well. Actually, it's like a Viking. It's quite tradition in Sweden to have one, isn't it? Or like tradition in Nordics to have a axe bottle opener or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have a bottle opener in Sweden that is just an axe, and I use this to open my beer.
And murder anyone that comes into the house.
I have a bow there as well on the wall.
So even if they come close to the house, just shoot it. Get a property. I'm not on your property.
I have an ice. I have to shoot.
Oh wait, he's getting it out, is he?
Yeah. Look.
The lads.
Oh nice, that's clean, bro.
Oof.
I bet that's got some power in the string.
Yeah, 70 pounds. It's rather aggressive. It's kind of fun. I lost a few arrows. They vanish on the lawn. Like you would think that you would see them, but they go down just below the surface and go under the grass, so they just disappear in the lawn. So they are just gone there. I have two somewhere on my lawn. I have no idea where they are.
Yeah, you'd be cutting the lawn one day and you get an arrow sticking in your neck. You go, that's where it is. That's where it was.
Exactly.
I do love my mate has loads of like air guns. Obviously in the UK the gun laws are a bit kind of really strict, so you have to have like air guns. But he's got like the max strength air guns he could possibly have, and he brought them over to my house and we're firing them and firing bows and stuff. It felt so primal. I felt like such a man. Like ripping it and stuff like that.
It's crazy seeing as the law is so tight in the UK on owning any of these weapons or using them, but there's been a pop-up in Manchester and probably most towns and cities lately of drinking establishments that also offer this as like a game on the side whilst you're getting pissed, and just so counterintuitive that you're not allowed to have these things whilst you're sober, but here, come and have a couple of cocktails and take this axe and throw it at the wall.
That's a lie. That's a lie. You don't do cocktails. You drink beer and do that, right?
To be fair, I'll drink anything of alcohol. And if you meet me and you like give me Guinness or give me whatever, I mean, you'll see on the Amsterdam convention if anyone's there. I know Deej is going to be there. I know you'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll have a few drinks.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm not ashamed to admit beer makes me feel bloated and not too good at times. So I'm a big fan of the cocktails.
Big chicken.
You're a big fan of the cock. Do you not have to say the tail part? It's okay. I like wine.
He loves cocking his tail.
I like wine as well.
I'm not fussy. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, mate, I love wine as well, man. I do. I don't like white wine, but I do like red wine. I feel like a red wine and cheese board is something like 3 years ago I'd be like, yeah, you must be crazy. Nowadays, man, that's heaven for me.
It's nice. I wanna
big nice bit of chutney.
I bought a bunch of bottles for storing. I don't know how many I have. Probably 60, 70 bottles right now in my house, and I want to build a big wine cellar, or at least I have a few hundred bottles there of different kind of wines. I really like that. Right now I don't drink anything, but I will soon.
My dad literally has that. It's a very nice site for anyone who drinks wine. I'm very jealous of it, and I will have that one myself one day. I'm even thinking about getting a little vineyard in my house if I'm gonna, in the latter days, not right now, but. I love to be able to make my own beer and stuff. I know there was like a game of WAX actually that came out, and it was like Beer Master or Brew Master. Don't know what the hell happened to that, but I want to do that in real life and brew my own beer and make some NFG ale, NFG cider coming to you very soon.
I bought a beer kit to test it myself for the first time, and I will do it for like a Christmas beer. That will be nice, and try it. If I like it, I will do it again, and if I like it, then I will do it in bigger scale, probably, like everything.
I remember. I really want to do a bottle in it. It just seems like such a cool thing to me. Like, it seems like, how women say, like, some women. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. How some women say like cleaning is really therapeutic. I don't know about you, but it's definitely not for me. Making beer and bottling beer would be it would be therapeutic for me. Like that would be really nice for me. Like doing that, or doing stuff in the garden, like growing wine. That would be really therapeutic for me, for example. I think that's what I want to do when NFTs make us all rich. You can catch me in a vineyard or in a brewery brewing my own stuff.
Yeah, we are growing a lot of things out here, food and things like that, and bought a tunnel to grow more next year. So we will have a 12-meter long tunnel to grow things in. So there will be a lot of tomatoes next year, hopefully, and other cool things.
Are you actively doing this yourself, Anders, or are you just instructing the kids working?
We are. I bought this farm together with my brother, so we are two families living here.
Nice.
So we do a lot of things together. We have there are two living houses, and then we have the house I'm in right now. It's what we have now as an office complex. So there's just offices in here, and then we have a few barns down there, and building it out together. So it's cool.
I really like your land. I really like what you do there. I personally as well live on like a kind of similar thing, so I love that. I hate cities, mate. Like the only time I go to London nowadays for an NFT convention, or to me it's stereo.
Do you know what? It's bad for me having all these NFT conventions in London, because it's actually cheaper for me to get to Amsterdam than it is to London. The trains in the UK are so expensive right now, so
everything is expensive in the UK right now, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, literally true. Everything is. It's ridiculous, man. Is it not in Sweden as well? I thought it might be the same in Sweden.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we wrecked our power grid pretty hard through green laws that has been passed in the last few years in Sweden, and which made a few nuclear power plants not profitable, and they shut down, and now we need them and we don't have them, and it takes 7 years to get them started again, pretty much. And
7 years.
Yeah, pretty like 4 to 7 years to get them going properly. It's not like you just hit start and it's all done. You need to get everything that you need and make sure that it's safe and everything. And for a company to invest money to do that, they also need to know that the law is, if things go better, this will not just go back and be, hey, fuck that, we just want wind and solar power, so you will be at a loss again. So yeah, that's a problem for all of Europe now, I guess. And since you left Europe, you got a little bit harder hit by that now, it seems. But yeah. Anyway, we have been chatting and I actually enjoyed this because we have been chatting about a lot of things and just random chats and NFTs and everything. And I've enjoyed this conversation a lot. It's been very relaxing, very nice conversation. Very. I hope that other people has enjoyed this as well and watch me play some rug pool very badly in the background and things like that.
You're way better than me, so you shouldn't say teabags. That makes
I didn't even realize we were live. To be honest, I've not seen what's happening.
It's good.
Where have you been? Yeah, no, it's nice.
I've literally just been sitting there staring at Anders' shiny face, thinking he looked a little bit like Erling Haaland for the last 20 minutes.
I don't know who that is. I take it as a compliment.
No, look up. He's like one of the best football players in the world.
He's probably the best football player in the world right now. Yeah. I'd say.
Yeah.
Then it's a compliment.
Yeah, definitely a compliment. Especially when you've been working out, you're probably in the same.
I think he's Norwegian as well. So
yeah, he is.
He's got the same hairstyle as you. That's what it is.
Yeah, the from Vikings, pretty much. Not really.
Yeah, it's a pretty popular Nordic cut, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah.
But no, we speak about NFTs all day, every day. It's nice to just have a nice conversation about stuff, and we'll be speaking about it on the Lefty Blocks event. I'm sure we'll have a few nice chats. But we're happy to come on any time and just chill, because if we want to get really techie into NFTs, we can get really technical and have those conversations. But it's nice to just, speak to a fellow European, because it's full of Americans, this space.
One project I know you are interested in, Anders, Blockchain Brawlers. When is this? Do you know when this is going live, this Brawlerseum? I'm sitting here refreshing my page.
What they are opening up the beta so people can actually go and test it, which is very fun, and everyone needs to apply through some link or document, and people can go and play the game. Before they invited people, so some people could play the closed alpha, and now they have a more open alpha on Steam, and the long term it will not be on Steam. And I've played the game, and my first reaction is this is not something that I will be playing. It is very early. There is probably more depth coming to it, more things to understand, more tactics and everything. But the first reaction for me is this game is not something I will go and spend time on every day. That's for sure.
Yeah, fair enough. So I was talking more about the crafting mechanics, the Brawlerseum for the cards. Do you have one of those? I forgot.
No. That's one of those things that I thought was priced at a very weird market.
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, we kind of got bullied into it by Marty.
Yeah, Marty bullied us into it, basically.
It's kind of like send us a DM from a bot. It'd be like, you've been accepted to pay $5,000 for the Diamond Brawlerseum.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we've been accepted for it and there's only 150, I suppose we have to get it now. Well.
I mean, they did better than the Platinums, though. The Platinums didn't do great. I mean, we're all wax ambassadors here. Like, they just didn't do well. They priced it wrong. Maybe they didn't want to change their pricing based on what they initially set out and the numbers they initially put, but I think that was a bad move. And I think Music Mogul as well, they learned that the first sale did all right, the second sale did atrocious, and I haven't seen another sale from them. They definitely have learned a lesson there. I think only like 300 sold out of 5,000, and that was just not a good look, man. It's not a good.
I'm just excited about being able to earn something from this Brawlerseum today, mate. Being able to craft some packs. We've had
it's a month and a half of no earning. It's just too long. Like this, and that's a month and a half in this space is a long time. I was really surprised when it was just like, nah, there's no earning. I was like, is that a joke? Like I was so surprised. I mean, when you're seeing not blockchain brawlers as number one on Atomic Hub, you know something's going on. That's what I was like. So how are they letting this happen? In my opinion, but hey, that's a conversation for another day. I think. I know. Yeah. I think we could talk. We could do a whole podcast about blockchain brawlers.
Yeah, like. And Music Mogul is a game that I think might be very a game that I might see myself playing based on that it is this long-term strategy game that is supposed to be evolving and everything. If it's delivered like that, then I'm looking forward to see what that game actually turns out to be. And for the pricing of the stuff for blockchain brawlers, the only conclusion I can make is that it is not priced for normal people. Their audience is not most people. Their audience is a limited amount of people that has deeper pockets that can spend 2 months' salaries on one item to be able to craft a few items for the game. And and that's fine. Like, if that is your target market and you build everything and they enjoy it, it's perfectly fine if people want to do that. But it's not for me anymore. I find it crazy when I have to pay $200 to get access to something, or if I have to pay $100 to get access to something and I don't know how it is gonna turn out, if I'm gonna enjoy it. If I go and play a game, I enjoy it and I can get this crafting thing after, and that's $5,000, and I'm like, I'm loving this is so much fun, and I have the money, then I can spend that. And that's my point of view. And like, I'm still a fan of the work they do, and Music Mogul more than blockchain brawlers now. I'm not against blockchain brawlers. I'm just disappointed with some of their decisions.
So are we. I mean, like I said, I hope they learn from these mistakes. We all make mistakes. That's fine. You know, like, when no one's perfect, especially game studios. Like, there's a lot to think about. I just hope they learn from their mistakes, like everyone else has. That, you know, they haven't done any good for their projects in the past 2 months because of, you know, they can do as many announcements as you want about the crafting and the Brawlerseum and stuff. At the end of the day, you shafted a lot of the new players who came to the game with a Mike Yellowbelly. Now they have no reason to play the game. What's the point? You got them excited about nothing. And that's my problem, is like, you're appealing to 90% of the audience when there's a massive 90% of people that want a game to play on WAX, and they've just been basically said, no, we can't really do that anymore. But hey, that's a conversation for another day. I still like blockchain, don't get me wrong. But
yeah, same. I have all of my assets still. I haven't sold them. Which means that if I didn't believe that I'm gonna take part of it in some way, and I didn't believe that they can create something good, I wouldn't still have them. So I'm still believing in the future of it. I just don't like where it is right now. I guess that's the point.
I was just purely excited upon the fact that I may start to get some of my ROI back from the $5,000 investment. That was where my excitement ended.
Well, let's keep the excitement. Yeah, we're pumped. Let's go.
No, but it is good because you finally you can start to interact with it, and you can start to get this, like, involve engagement again. And like, if you just, all you get is the announcement for things happening in the future, and you just wait, that engagement is just dropping, and you need to start to release things, and when there is something to be excited about, like, you can start to play it and you have fun and you actually enjoy that type of game, and it is something for you, then that excitement will start to build and you have this community growing. For the last few months it has been the other way, and now the alpha is starting, so there might be people that actually enjoy this game a lot, and that's awesome. For me, I just find that there are other games that I enjoy more right now, and one game is building and learning to code more, so that's what I spend most time doing right now.
That's a good game, that one.
That is a good ROI. Good ROI on that.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Infinity percent ROI.
Yeah, exactly. Acquire skills and apply them, and then complain to Nick when I do stupid things. When I do something stupid and I'm like, oh fuck, I did this mistake, and I realize it, then I send Nick, hey, I just did this stupid thing and now I solved it. I hate myself because it took 2 hours to fix it. But anyways, we've been on for 100 minutes. Very good. Very long, very nice. Was very nice to have you on and this chill, relaxed conversation, as I said before, and I hope to see us all soon again, and everyone watching this now or in the future. I hope you enjoy this rant and discussion we had and chill conversation.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having us, man.
Speak soon, mate. Take care.
Speak soon.
Peace.
Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Bitcoin bull is all I got left. Sold my clothes, gold no less. Was a suckling, hollow hands. This man's stronger